guys, Laura here from What Laura Likes. So today we're talking about modesty. And not just modesty, but also femininity, because they go hand in hand. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. If you decide that you want to stick around and talk mostly about Catholicism, also homeschooling, homemaking, being a wife and a mother, and anything like that. But today we are talking specifically about something that I just did totally on a whim, and it is called the No Pant Challenge Week. Now, I just made this up. I mean, who knows? Maybe it existed before me and I'm just like, not aware of it. But I'm reading the book Dressing with Dignity by Colleen Hammond, and it's been life-changing and really in a very eye-opening way. I'm not done with it yet, so I'm not going to be able to express the whole book, but what it did inspire me to do is to dress myself in skirts or dresses for an entire week. To just kind of step back from the pants and say, can I even do this? Dress in a way where I'm able to wear just skirts. And what is that going to feel like? What is that going to do for my psyche, for my lifestyle, for my heart, for the way others interact with me? I was just curious, right? So that's what I want to talk about today. Now, before I get too far into this, Rhiannon at my little domestic church is also doing a collab with me on this topic of modesty. If you don't know who she is, you should go check out her channel. She has an amazing heart. She is an amazing mother of 6, and she has been dressing modestly for quite a while. Definitely go check out her collab to this one when you're done. And I also just want to say that this is an open collab video, so if you would decide that you want to do a video about modesty or a video where you share your experience of no pants for a week, then definitely do that. Okay. So with that, what I want to say is, it's been amazing. It's been great. It's been quite eye-opening. Just because for me, I've always worn pants. Now, when I was little, I wore dresses. I love dresses. I gravitated towards dresses, just in the way that many little girls do. I remember when I was in middle school, I actually dressed a little bit awkward, because I really did like dresses and skirts. I just felt so good in them. And so I had 2 outfits that I absolutely adored. One was this yellow dress that came down below my knees, and it was a cotton, like, ribbed material. And then I had these, I would wear tights with it, and then these, like, boots, like these kind of clunky boots, because it was the 90s, and so, like, Birkenstocks and that kind of thick stuff was in. And then, I also, in middle school, I had this top that I had gotten for Christmas, and I wore it to school one time. It was a gold top, and it had buttons, and it had a little tie, which is super in right now. I absolutely love the tie look. It wasn't in for so long, it made me sad, and now it's back in. But, so it had a little tie, and then I wore this black, like, A-line skater skirt with it, right? And I just loved it. I loved it, but I'm sure I stood out among my peers that were all wearing jeans and Birkenstocks and t-shirts. That's just like what everybody wore, right? And when you're in middle school especially, you just kind of want to fit in. So I kind of noticed that my style was different than the majority of everybody else's, and so I kind of started trying to fit in more. And I never shopped at Abercrombie. I never shopped at American Eagle until college, which is really funny. I just wasn't, like, aware of it. And so I always had clothes that were slightly different than the populace, like the majority. I did wear jeans and t-shirts the majority of the time. And it always felt so plain. It just feels plain to put on jeans and a t-shirt. I didn't feel feminine. I didn't feel pretty. I still wore skirts sometimes, like, unlike everybody else in my high school. There was a skirt top outfit I had that I would wear, and I just felt so pretty in it. And it didn't really faze me that no one else was dressing this way, because I was kind of a nerd anyway, and it just didn't, I just kind of knew that I didn't, like, fit in the way some of the other kids did. So anyway, looking back, it's so interesting that I naturally gravitated towards that, but yet I was trying so hard to be of this world because I didn't know any better, right? I never heard that even in catechism class, like, that we were supposed to not be of this world. If someone had told me that or given me the litany of humility, I would have been like, oh, okay, I'm going to totally do what I want to do, what God's calling me to do, right, in my heart, because He writes things in our hearts. But instead, just did what everybody else did. And then college came around, more jeans. I don't think I owned any skirts in college. All the way up until recently, I didn't even wear dresses or skirts to mass. I would just wear a bootcut pair of jeans and like a button-down blouse with like long sleeves, and then that was kind of my uniform for mass, and I thought I was doing pretty well because I was covered. And, you know, I'm not going to say anything about people wearing jeans to church. I think everyone should try to wear dresses and see if you feel different. Because, like I said, I think that this is written on our hearts as women to wear skirts and dresses. Now, one thing that Colleen Hammond mentions in her book is the insipid infiltration of the culture by the Freemasons. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge discussion of this, but it's definitely worth looking into. But she does have actual documents in her book. They really were interested in bringing down women because they want to bring down the family, because ultimately it's satanic. They want to destroy the family, and so they want to destroy femininity in women, because I know that women are the keys to the family, right? And now women are out there like aborting their own children and killing their own children, and it's just, it's pretty amazing what they've done. And so they had this progressiveness of dress, and it was like raising the knees above, the skirt above the knees, raising exposing the elbows, then exposing the shoulders, and bringing down the hem of the neckline, and then, the bikini came out. And it's so funny because women, if you read the history of fashion, they've tried to put pants on the runway at one point, and all the women gawked and said, why would we want to dress like men, right? And then, of course, we know that in the 50s, women were going to the factories because of the war, and so, or 40s and 50s, and so they were wearing pants. And then when they went back into the home, I think they were more open-minded towards, well, gosh, I wore pants at work, why can't I wear pants at home? And then we did definitely see this trend towards that. Now, suffice to say, that's all like one big rabbit hole you can go down. But it is something to keep in mind that up until very, very recently, women always wore skirts and dresses. I mean, I'm talking about biblical times, Adam and Eve, all the way through until like the 1920s. I mean, this is pretty recent. And we know from Fatima, as well as Keto, I think it is, the apparitions, that Mary said that this was going to happen, and that the 20th century was going to be intense. And even Jacinta, she warned Jacinta to, this is again like 1917, 1918, that women shouldn't follow the dress changes that were coming. We need to take Our Lady's words to heart, right? Like, I think we really need to step back and say, as a Christian woman, first of all, am I presenting myself as a Christian? Now, I know there are women out there who are going to say, oh, I can wear, I've seen this meme, and it's like a woman dressed well, like at Mass, like in the 50s, and with a veil and everything, and then I think it's Miley Cyrus wearing like a crop top and short shorts, and she has like piercings and things, and she's like, whatever, I'm a Christian, like I don't need to dress like one. Okay. It's one thing to call yourself a Christian, it's another thing to truly follow Jesus Christ in your heart. And I think that when for the same reasons that I veil at Mass, I think dressing myself with dignity every single day of the year, whether I'm in the home or outside the home, but especially outside the home, really does make a difference. One thing that I've come to ask myself recently, that I think is helpful, is if I ran into my priest in public, would I be embarrassed or ashamed about what I'm wearing? Now, I just think that's a really good way of putting it. No, our priest is not God, but he's definitely a shepherd, and he's someone that you should respect and admire and want to be presentable around, right? And so definitely think about what you're wearing for Mass, but also just in your daily life. And again, if you have tasks to do, like the other day, I was doing some major like cleaning out a closet, and there's a lot of up and down, and at first I was wearing a skirt, and it just was becoming too cumbersome, and so I switched into workout clothes and did that, and then changed back. I could talk about this forever, you guys. So where I want to go is, okay, so after wearing skirts for a week, one, I don't plan on going back to pants anytime soon. I think that it just makes me feel more feminine. It makes me want to do my hair and makeup. It makes me feel presentable when I go out. I think it really does address chivalry and cause men to raise themselves up. I know there's a little bit of a debate among Catholic men about whether pants are modest or not modest, but I'm actually talking more about the feminine factor and the fact that when we dress like ladies, we are treated like ladies. And it's true. The other day I was at the store and I was wearing something similar to this, and this man at the checkout counter was like falling over himself to help me. And I just don't think that if I had been wearing more of a traditional, like a more of a casual outfit, that necessarily would have happened. But when you carry yourself with that dignity and you show the rest of the world, like, I really respect myself enough to dress in a more modest, feminine way, I think that especially men take note. And so it's definitely, in my opinion, important. And I'm not even going to go into, you know, the whole occasion of sin and men and covering up and that kind of thing. I don't want to go there on this video, but I do think that, like, when we dress like a lady, the men rise to a level of chivalry that perhaps our society has said is dead, but it's definitely not dead. And it comes, if it's dead, it's because these women are so mixed up that they think that a man holding a door for them somehow is disrespectful, when it's actually the exact opposite. And you guys, I used to be a feminist. Like, I used to, like, my grandfather would hold a door for me and I was like, oh no, I can get that. Like, trust me, I have been there, done that. I am not talking from some point of view of someone who has always understood my femininity and my treatment of being a lady and insisting on being treated like a lady. What I want to do is I'm going to stick in the end of this video the outfits I wore for the week, just so you get an idea of, like, what I'm wearing. Some of my items are in the Amazon store. Others I've gotten from Kohl's. Pieces I've gotten from Target. I have really, after this last week, and today's day 8 and I'm still wearing a skirt, I just haven't found anything negative so far. Now, of course, winter's coming, and that might be a different situation in terms of pants, but there is a YouTuber who I think her religion requires her to dress in skirts. I'm not quite sure, but it said, I think it's hem of his garment. But she has really helped me realize that you can wear skirts throughout the winter. And I did do this last year. I would just wear leggings under a skirt. And you guys, it's fabulous. It's wonderful. Now, if you are in a place where it rains a lot, maybe wear something that hits mid-calf and then some rain boots, and you're good.
Every change has a reason, baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives outside of status quo. If we stop believing we're meant to be expanded.
So I hope that was helpful to see the different outfits I wore. Remember to check out the other ladies down below that are doing this with us. I just hope that we can start a movement, especially within the Catholic community. First, I'll go you're wearing a mask, because I think that is where everything should start from. That's where everything stems from. That's where my journey started from, is masks. And so I started buying dresses for masks, just from Amazon, just because I could find something modest from Amazon, and so I just did, and that's like what I wore yesterday. And then from there, kind of move through, okay, when we're dressing like this for masks, and that's good because that's Jesus and reverence. But then how does this carry out into my day-to-day? What does that look like? Maybe those dresses don't quite work for your day-to-day, because you don't have to be frumpy and do this. You can still be cute, still be beautiful, whatever it is you're going for, but again, with a sense of self-respect. And I think that's where it comes down to. So take it for what it is. I know this challenge isn't for everybody, but you know what? Nothing that I put up on this channel is for everybody. I get people yelling at me all the time. So keep it kind, keep it PG, and we will just continue this conversation in the comments. And I plan on making more videos about this as I go. And if you're not following me already on Instagram and you want to see, like, daily outfits, which there's probably a lot of repeats, go ahead and check me out over there and follow me. Also, one last plug, the Daily Connoisseur, like 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, is what got me started down this path. It's been a very slow path, but Jennifer is amazing, and she went to France. She realized that the French are dressing differently than the Americans. And so when she came back, I think she does wear jeans sometimes, but she mostly wears dresses and skirts. And she talks about dressing well on the day-to-day, even with small kids, even while pregnant, even while nursing. So I highly, highly suggest her TED Talk, the 10-item wardrobe. I highly suggest checking out her videos. She has a spring-summer wardrobe and a fall-winter wardrobe because, again, she's using mainly 10 pieces, and then she has some, like, t-shirts don't count. But anyway, just highly suggest her to check her out because she has a wealth of knowledge and she's very classy, and again, she's calling for the same idea of us reclaiming our femininity and dressing well, even when the rest of society is wearing yoga pants. So, all right, with that, God bless, have a beautiful day, and remember to check out the other videos. And I know this got a little long, but I'll talk to you guys again real soon, and God bless. Bye.